Hello and welcome to Coffee Chat with me, Jody Misiak. Today, grab your coffee, your tea, smoothie, whatever lights you up, and come chat with me today. Today, we're going to keep talking about what we talked about last week, which was our environment. So much of our environment plays a role in how we act and how our behaviors are and things like that. So today I wanted to share some tips on quick things you can do to really just change your environment. And now today's focus is the home, because like for me, I spend a good chunk of my time at home. I have 2 young kids and I work from home. So a lot of the time I'm home. Now that might not be you. And if it's not, you still want your home when you come home from a long day's work or traveling here and there. You want to come home and have it your sanctuary. It shouldn't be something that you're stressing over. You know, you've had a long, busy day at work. It would be nice to come home to something that feels like, it feels so good, right? So today we're going to share on home. I'm going to do some quick tips for quick things, and then we're going to do a little bit deeper in it as well. Today's a 2-parter because I had a really cool question from one of our viewers, and I want to answer in the next coffee chat. And it's more about the environments that we don't have control over, you know, work and the grocery store and things like that. So I'm going to talk about that next episode. Today, we're going to focus on the home. So what can we do that doesn't take us, hours and hours to do? Well, today is spring, and, officially, I think it started yesterday. Anyway, so it's spring, and why not open the windows of your home? I've been doing this throughout the winter a little bit, especially with, the colds and flu going around our home. I crack open the window, but now that it's nicer out, open a couple windows here and there, and it actually changes the stale air. First, the air, it's not as stale, it's fresh. You can smell spring, and our brains, we really, it's one of our senses, is the smell. So to smell fresh air, it really can light us up. At least I know it does for me. Saging, or what we can also call smudging. And so you can take sage, you can get it on Amazon. That's one of my most favorite places to shop. And you can buy sage or different things. I'm newer to saging, or smudging. I've done it for a couple of years, but I don't do it as often as I'd like. So I'm not an expert in this area. So if this is something that sounds fun to you, just Google smudging or sage cleansing, and you'll find tons of articles on the subject. And just to source somebody that maybe has been doing it a little longer than me. But what you do is, I use sage. You can use a lot of different ones depending on what you're doing or just your scent preference. So I just take a sage stick and I burn it. It's not on fire, but it's smoldering, and I put the smoke throughout the home while saying a little affirmation. I'm still not set on exactly an affirmation that I love yet, but it's just finding your ground, and it's just really removing the negative energy from your home and replacing it with nice, wonderful energy. And that's one thing I love to do. And I did that recently because I felt that our house was in this negative vibration. We've been in a lot of change, and there's a lot of sick and things like that. So I actually took some time, I think it was last week actually, that I saged, and it really just changed the energy in our home. And it just was really beautiful. So that's something you like to do. Just look into it. I don't, like I said, I haven't been doing it long enough to give tip by tip advice, but I will definitely, I'll look into it. And maybe once I do it a little bit more, I can do an episode just on saging, or if I can find an expert on it, maybe I'll bring them in to talk about it. And it's just the more you do it, I think the better you get at it as well. But it's just removing the space. So saging, opening your windows, putting music on. Putting music on can shift my mood completely, and it can shift others. And it just, it just changes the energy in the room. And other ones are tidy up clutter. Now, I'm not saying declutter your whole home, But if you have like a stack of mail sitting somewhere, or you just have something that's just been sitting that just kind of got placed and kind of forgotten about, it might only take 5-10 minutes. Clean it up, organize it, go through it, recycle what needs to be, put it, find a home for the other stuff, and really just focus on one small little corner of your house. So it's just picking up a little bit. Last week I mentioned I bought a duvet set, like a new duvet cover, and it came with pillow covers. It can just be like little things. So there I purchased something, but it could be even going through your closet and finding something you thought you lost, so you can put it on your bed, or turn fun fabric you have laying around into a pillow if you sew, things like that. And then I mentioned about our scents, like our smells. Essential oils are wonderful. You can have different ones going in diffusers. I know for me, I don't actually do too much in the home just because we have cats. And there's been studies out there, I don't know exactly how true it is, that it can affect their liver. So I've just really been cautious with that. And I actually just keep it in our bedroom when I'm the only one in there without the cats, kind of thing. So I'll lock myself in there and have like a nice little like me time in that space. I use them as perfume. I put them in coconut oil and rollers on my wrists. And I actually have really cool jewelry, necklaces that have coal in them, I believe, like a little bit of like a little ball, and you drop a couple drops of essential oils. And then I also have bracelets. So you can do cool essential oils with smelling it without having it everywhere. But if you love to diffuse or have diffusers throughout your home, that is a really wonderful way to change the energy and your mood in your home. It's a really amazing. And we do clean with essential oils as well. So sometimes, just cleaning with something that smells good can lift your spirits. So it's just those little things. And just tidying up. One of our things is like I've mentioned before, like cleaning definitely has gone through, so you can't do everything all the time, is really my thing. And it's like I'm working, stay-at-home mom at the same time. And so something had to give, and it was cleaning. But every so often, my husband and I team up, and we'll just spruce up the place. We also were really fortunate to get a Roomba vacuum cleaner. So when we're vacuuming a different level of the house, our Roomba can also be vacuuming a different level because we have a side split. So we have lots of levels to vacuum. So it's just tag teaming sometimes. Like if you don't have the time to clean, don't stress about it. And then maybe just every so often have like make it fun. Have a little team cleaning. If you have older kids, have them chip in, that kind of thing, just to kind of spruce it up. And then everybody feels better. I know for me, once, we might spend an hour, my husband and I, or 2 hours one night after the kids go to bed, and we'll just clean. And afterwards, I'm like, it just feels better. So if you're feeling a little stuck in your home, or a little, stir crazy because it's been winter and you just haven't, felt great, even just doing a little cleaning, call some friends over, work together, do your home and then clean your friend's home together. And then this kind of goes into my next thing I want to talk about, which is deep cleaning, also known as spring cleaning. Now, this is something that hasn't happened in our home for a couple of years, just because sleep was my priority. When my son napped, I slept to make things, like just to get enough sleep, so I wouldn't go insane. So now that things are, back to like we have some kind of flow, some kind of structure in our life, I've decided that this year I really want to clean our home, like deep clean. So that could sound really stressful right now, right? Are you thinking maybe like, whoa, I don't have time to like clean my house from top to bottom? Well, what I've decided to do is I have a list. And I have a list of all the areas in our home I want to clean. Like, so I kind of broke it down to rooms, and then some of those rooms have big closets that need some extra love. And I've kind of just have this list. And then I have the days I'd like to do it. And before I go any further, that might work for you. But what I found with the flaw with my plan is sometimes I really just want to put my energy into my work and I don't want to clean. Some people call it procrastination. Some people call it my passion is calling me, and I rather spend my time working with people and giving back to the community and things like that. So sometimes I just don't want to clean, and then I actually procrastinate in a way that I waste my day. So my husband and I talked, and it's like, let's just do it when the time, like I get into these moods where I just want to clean. Like I cleaned our kitchen the other day when I was like, oh, let's just tidy this up, the cupboards, and I went through everything. So sometimes you can plan, but if you're like me, and sometimes you have to, I want to go more with the flow. Like what is calling me today? So I'll go back to what I had planned, and then I'll talk to you about what came out and what works really well, in my opinion. So I had that list of everything I wanted to get done, and then I put a date beside each one. So I had it where like I'd be spending 2 to 3 hours on those days, just because I only have one day to do this, but you could space it out like a half hour here, half hour there. And I could, like, so I had it all out, and I was like, okay, by the end of March, our whole house, like every area I want, will be done. And other than our basement is another area that would be dedicated to April, just because it's a bigger job. And so I had it all laid out. And like I said, then life happened. I'm like, oh, I really want to do this for work. And I really wanted to reach out to certain people and do things. And it just really, that's what I felt like I was called to do. The cleaning didn't feel like it was the right thing to do. So I kind of put it on hold. And then, that guilt can come in. Be like, well, I had this plan. I told my husband, like, this is what I was going to do with my work day. I was actually going to shift gears and not work so much. I was going to clean our house and really just get it clean. And in the end, I really want to take my Wednesdays when my son's in daycare for work. That's what I really want to do. And so instead, now I have a list. And when I have that time that I get that energy where I'm like, I really want to clean, or the kids are playing really well together, and I can just step away for like a half hour while my husband's still nearby and can keep an eye on them, or my husband is playing with them and I go clean for a little while. Like, so there's the structure where you have like the list and you have every detail of like when you're happening. Might work for you. That was me. I really controlled every area of my life all the time. I'm a calendar person. I love schedules. I love laying it out. But now I'm being called to go more with the flow of life. So instead of having dates set out, where then I don't do them because I really don't want to and I want to be working, but then if I'm working, like I'm that tug of war. So instead, I've given myself a break, but without not procrastinating, but understanding what area of my life I really want to focus on, which is giving back to the community, doing these videos, coffee chat, and to really do that. So, but have that list of things that I'd like to do. And now instead of me just focusing on them on my work day, my husband and I can team up together. So he can look at the list too and help me. So it's kind of going with the flow, also asking for help. And then for us, it's looking at having our kids go maybe spend time with grandparents here and there so my husband and I can work together. So that's what I'm doing. And let's get back to just the spring cleaning. That can feel overwhelming. Spring cleaning doesn't have to be overwhelming. You can break it down into 10 minutes a day, half an hour. You don't have to do it all at one time. Especially if you have little kids, I feel overwhelmed a lot because every day we have a big mess to clean up. Now, luckily, my daughter's 5 and my son's almost 3. So they're at the age where they can clean up a lot of their own messes. Like we can work together usually. So at the end of the night, we're not cleaning up, a whole room of toys. This way we're working together. But sometimes it just feels like you're constantly cleaning. So you can either do it where you're doing a section, like you block off an hour, 2 hours, or you can just do little mini cleaning sessions. So I hope that helps. Spring cleaning can feel really good. I can understand why people do it because it gives you a freshness. We're starting a new season, and I know how summers can get. Our calendar's already full for the weekends in the summer. So it's kind of just cleaning up and tidying up, freshening up our house so we can move into the busier seasons where you can just be with your friends more often and do things. So maybe it's just me that has a crazy house to clean up, but for us it's been years in the making. So we're going to be gentle with ourselves, knowing that a lot of these areas that we want to clean up have been kind of being piling up for a couple of years. So it's also giving yourself a little wiggle room, a little love through this process, but knowing that it can happen and it can just be baby steps. And the other thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. I personally love when my environment looks like a magazine. But again, I have to be realistic. I have 2 kids and a husband that doesn't feel the same about my neatness. So it's just, try and go with the flow, clean up and build. And I just, I hope this helps. And then next week, like I mentioned before, we're going to talk about going with the flow and really what to do when you're out and about in different environments that you can't control. Like your home, you have some kind of control over usually. Now, when you share it with somebody else, it's, a shared space. But what can we do when we are out and about with our emotions and going with the flow and things like that? So stay tuned. I hope you have a beautiful day. And yay, here's to spring. Happy spring. Bye for now.